Coming up, we're checking out the brand new Studio Series Hot Rod, looking at all his cool new accessories, and trying to pronounce crisp rice. We're gonna get fully stacked, and somebody's gonna get... Let's go. It's a question as old as time. To upgrade or not to upgrade? Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the scoffs and side eyes of owning an outdated figure, or to take arms against all of that nonsense and buy the cool new thing that comes with a fishing rod. That is the question. And I mean, it really is a pretty cool fishing rod, don't you think? Hot rod? In this year of the so-called apology tour from Hasbro, one wonders what Hasbro needs to apologize to us G1 fans about. I mean, they've given us just about every figure from the movie, from every single frame, and now they're giving us updates of those figures with different accessories for different scenes they were in that movie. I mean, when's it gonna be enough? Obviously never, because since the dawn of the Generations line, if Hasbro's learned anything, it's that a collector fool and his money are soon parted, because this one is magenta instead of red. And of course you're gonna say, well, hey dude, you bought the guy. And yes, of course I did, because I'm a reviewer or something and not just because I wanted him, and also fuck you. Just kidding, look, hey, I'm one of you. And this current wave has a lot of reissues, and some of them work out pretty well for me. I didn't have Scourge and I didn't have Hound. Now I do, so that's cool. And so is Studio Series Hot Rod, and that's what we're here to talk about today. And I'm not gonna waste too much more of your time, we're gonna get right into it. This is an absolutely gorgeous figure. It always has been, the first time around and now. Studio Series Hot Rod is at the top of many people's lists of one of the best Studio Series figures ever made. And I can't really argue otherwise, even if I do have a few beefs with this figure that I will talk about a little later on. But first, we just want to take a look at him in his robot mode, check out all the welcome changes, and also see everything that stayed the same with the original Studio Series figure. So you can see just what's different about this new version, which will hopefully help you determine if you want to have both figures, or if you haven't bought either yet, maybe you still want to get the first version, or maybe you want to get this one. We're going to look at them both together and help you make that decision. This is in fact a redeco, and as you can tell with the original Studio Series Hot Rod on the left and the new one on the right, there are definitely some color changes. Most importantly, he's gone from red to a magenta, and the orange is even a little bit darker than the previous orange as well, and I think personally he's the better for it. Otherwise, of course, he retains that beautiful sculpt work that the original figure had, and he just looks so good, so clean in his robot mode. And the back is just as clean with that giant spoiler, his butthole, and those really slim legs that just look great. The profile on this guy is so incredible, so slim. He definitely is a wonder of engineering, even if I don't love the transformation process. What I do love is this excellent and handsome face sculpt that retains the gimmick of being able to lift up the helmet and flop down the visor so that Hotshot can better see Starscream's ass sticking out of the back of the Autobot shuttle so he can put some lasers in it. In 2026, I'll take any gimmick I can get in a Transformers figure. Checking out the accessories now, the first thing you'll notice is this Matrix of Leadership is quite different from the original one seen here, which I totally thought was in focus. But since it's not, here we go. Now you can see the new version is nicely sculpted, but I do think I prefer the old one. Here's a Crunch Bar for comparison. Crunch Bar, creamy milk chocolate with crisp rice. I can't say crisped rice. As far as Pew Pews go, he does still get to have two of those, and these versions actually have a little magenta paint on them, which really makes them pop and is a nice upgrade from the original version. And just as a quick reminder from tfwiki.net, here is what you got with the original Hot Rod. The blast effects from the original have been replaced with the fishing pole and the sword and shield, and I think that's a really nice upgrade. I really like the paint job on the shield. I think it looks super cool, even though I think he holds it a little awkwardly. And the sword is great too, even though to me it looks more like a lightsaber, but I suppose it's accurate to the film. And again, my problem with the shield is that he can only hold it in his fist, which makes for limited posability. And of course, this piece, which falls off a lot, isn't supposed to be removed. But even if you did, neither of these ports fit correctly. With a lot of other figures, you can put the shield on the side of the arm, and that usually looks really cool. But with Hotshot, it seems like you just don't have that option. And finally, the fishing rod accessory is obviously a really fun one. It was always so bizarre to me to see a Transformers setting there fishing with Daniel like that, but it's such a cool, Pretty touching scene, and so it's fun that you're able to now recreate that with this fishing rod. I think that's a wonderful accessory. And now let's move... Oh, shit, wait. Hang on, this isn't supposed to be here. Wait, no. Wait, this isn't for this video. I'm sorry, guys. Like, hang on. Wait, right. How do I stop it? Gosh, sorry about that. Anyway, let's... Whoops. I don't know how those pictures got in there. Anyway. It could be argued that Hot Rod is more of a Voyager in size, not price, but he scales well. Here he is with Studio Series Optimus Prime. Here he is with Studio Series Soundwave with the incredible Toy Hack stickers added. Here he is with one of my favorite Studio Series releases so far, the amazing Thundercracker. And here he is with Dead Prowl, and that's part of the reason they're probably apologizing for us, giving us dead toys. And here he is with Hot Rod.
Hot Rod!
Wait, Hot Rod?
Hot Rod!
Yeah, whatever. Nothing has changed in the transformation process, of course, but we will walk through it fairly quickly right now. As you can see, you start out by lifting all of this up and kind of spreading it out. You need to twist this part around and fold the flap back down into place. And then once you've done that, you can twist his head around and fold that down. And then this part will move up and tab in right there, just like that. Then twist the waist around and start working on the feet. And these parts down here, as you watch the process, are where I have some trouble. Once the transformation is done and you fold them over and you click them back into place, those tabs do not hold really well for me on either side, actually. And I had a bit of a problem with my first hot shot with that as well, but it doesn't seem to be as bad. I just never really got a satisfying click, and they didn't hold together too well. So that was kind of a bummer. And then you want to take this piece and fold it down, and then you make sure you tuck those tabs underneath and lock everything into place like that. Here's another problem. These pieces on either side fall off on me really badly on this version. Now maybe I just have some bad QA and I got a bad one. I hope you guys have better luck. Let me know in the comments if you have zero issues with these particular pieces on your Hot Rod, but mine keep falling off, and that really messes with this part of the conversion. By the way, make sure the fists are lined up better than I did when I did this, but fold the arm around, push that tab in. That top tab locks in pretty well. And then, of course, as you can see, once you have the arm up and tabbed in, you want to tab the exhaust pipes into place and then push those flaps in on top. Again, this doesn't work very well on mine, and it involves a lot of squishing I wish I didn't have to do. Then open up the front, and this seems optional. You don't necessarily have to do this, but open up the front, pull those out, and complete the full look of Hot Rod right there. And boy, do I really want to love this, but it's a little tough to love sometimes because of the extra squishing I have to do on mine. Now, maybe it is just mine, but I have seen other people with similar complaints on this and the last iteration of Hot Rod. Taking a closer look at him, though, you can see how sleek this vehicle mode is. I mean, any young kid in the 80s would have absolutely loved Hot Rod's vehicle mode. That's the dream sort of muscle car anybody wants. The flames on the front, the bright, vivid colors, especially now with the magenta and the orange, the giant exhaust going down the side. I mean, everything about this is super cool. And now let's compare the new version of Hot Rod with the original Studio Series version to see what's different. In vehicle mode, you can really see the differences in the shade of red between these two. The original Hot Rod, very much fire truck red, and of course the new one, very magenta, almost pink even. And I think he's way better for it. The article on TF Wiki described this as an unpaintable joint on the original Hot Rod, that bright yellow. Whatever it is, they fixed that this time around, and you see the joint is magenta and it lines up with the shade of the rest of the vehicle, and that makes a big difference in the overall look of it for sure. You'll also notice the bright vivid yellow on the first version has been replaced by a deeper, darker yellow on the newer model, and it's up to you to determine which one you prefer. And for a couple quick size comparisons in his vehicle mode, here he is with Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, Studio Series Megatron in that OK tank mode, and of course, Hot Rod.
Hot Rod!
As for weapon storage, yes, he can store everything, and yes, it is silly, but you start with those two little holes right there. We're going to take his pew-pews with those freshly painted magenta tabs and stick those into the holes to get the whole stack started. Next, we'll take his buzzsaw and stick that on top of the two perfectly lined up pew-pews. You'll notice his shield also has those double tabs, so those can stick on top of the buzzsaw. But before you do that, make sure to tab his sword into the side of the shield first. Looking pretty good so far. And finally, you can use the 5mm port on the side of the fishing pole to stick that onto one of the pew-pews, and then you can take the matrix and stick that on the other side. And there you have it, and you can see the whole transformation is buckling from the weight of all those amazing accessories. But hey, at least you'll never lose them, and I for one have a big problem losing accessories. But yes, this is a little more National Lampoon than Cybertronian Muscle Car. And using the same ideas, of course, he can hold all of his accessories as well, which again is a great way not to lose them. But again, what do you do when you have a Transformer figure that comes with this many accessories? I have a case that I put a bunch of extra ones in, but it bums me out when I can't find something. I'd love to know what you do with extra accessories. So that's my quick look at the 2026 Studio Series Hot Rod. Let me know in the comments if you want this new update, if you're happy with the old one, or if you want to have them both. Let me know, and as always, have a great day.